Rather than making a video about the general seasonal update, I thought why not go more in depth about the new additions to the stadium roster, Winston, Pharah and Brigitte. We now know what their power-ups are, and when I tell you that some of the builds are going to be insane, I mean it. Are they insane enough to change the current meta? Potentially. Some of these power-ups synergize really well with other power-ups to the point where the build is staring you right in the face and it's not even under your nose. It's staring directly into your soul. Unfortunately, in this video I won't be talking about Tracer because even though she's coming in the mid-season patch, we don't actually know anything about her power-ups. Obviously they'll affect the way that Pulse Bomb, Recall and Blinking work, but we don't know exactly how they'll affect these abilities. Now, without further ado, let's talk about these new additions to Stadium. Let's start with everyone's favourite monkey, Winston. Now, Winston has some amazing power-ups that affect how his bubble, ult, jump pack and Tesla cannon work. Some standout power-ups are Circuit Breaker, which not only grants 5% of electric damage as overhealth, but boosts electric damage by 10%. Pair this with Electro Cluster, which gives his Tesla cannon 25% more range and deals 5% extra damage per enemy being hit. Lightning Rod, which makes it so that his fully charged secondary shot bounces to all enemies within 6 meters of each other, dealing 50% max damage. And Volatile Volt, which makes it so that secondary can crit for 175% max damage, and we have an insane build that focuses on being a sniper monkey. And this is just one example of a strong build for Winston. We could pair Moon Landing, which grants 10% of max life per enemy hit with his jump pack, and Primal Punch, which resets jump pack's cooldown per kill with melee or jump pack, as well as granting 5% melee damage per 25 armor you have. And again, we'd have a pretty strong jump pack build. The possibilities with Winston are insane, and I can't wait to see what people do with him to make him broken. I honestly think a really well built Winston will hard counter D.Va in a lot of team fights. Moving on, let's talk about Pharah because holy shit, she is going to be a demon next season. Her power-ups have a massive effect on how Jump Jet, Concussive Blast, Barrage, and her primary rocket launcher work, as well as generally boosting her flight. We can make a pretty strong build by using power-up combinations like Evasive Maneuvers, which grants homing and 1.5 second hinder on a Concussive Blast after Jump Jet is used, Launch Vector, which fires 3 mini homing rockets at an enemy who's been knocked back by Concussive Blast, Heat Seekers, which grants homing to the first rocket fired after using Jet Dash, and Cyclic Salvo, which grants 10% fuel and reduces cooldowns by 1 on a direct hit. Yes, Pharah gets aimbot that only gets even stronger with cooldown perks, which is exactly why I said at the start of this segment she is going to be an absolute demon in this next Stadium season. Teams are going to have to play with at least one hit scan on their team, otherwise Pharah is just going to dominate the entire match. Last but not least, we have Brig, who's a bit of a 50-50 hero for me. I think she works really well in some team comps like Brawl and Dive, but I'm not very good at her. People that are good at her are going to have a field day though. Her power-ups focus on strengthening her Flail, Whip Shot, Shield Bash, Inspire, and Repair Pack. Oddly enough, there's only one power-up that affects Rally, and that's Consecrated Ground, which gives Brig 25% ult charge at the start of the round, triggers Inspire every 2.5 seconds, and reduces ability cooldown by 25% when rallying. Anywho, you can still make a pretty strong build by using power-ups that make her whip shot better. To do this, we'll be combining power-ups like Aura Farming, yes, that is its actual name, which grants allies 8% overhealth of your max life for 5 seconds after Inspire is triggered. Maces to Faces, which makes her whip shot 1 meter bigger, and gives it the ability to hit multiple enemies, as well as increasing Inspire's duration by 1% when triggered by Whip Shot. Pep Talk, which makes your next flail swing heal your teammates for 100% of damage dealt by you to enemies after using Whip Shot or Shield Bash. And Whirl Whip, which makes it so that your next flail swing hits all enemies within a 5 meter radius of one another after using Whip Shot or Shield Bash. This is going to go crazy with cooldown perks as you'll constantly have Whip Shot and Shield Bash at the ready. meaning that you and your team are going to last in the team fight for a fairly long time if you're running something like a brawl comp. But that just about does it for the new additions. I'm going to put up all of the power-ups on the screen for a second so you can pause the video and have a proper look at them, and I'll put a link to all of them in the description of this video. I'm really excited for these new additions to arrive tomorrow from when this video goes live. I personally play a lot of Winston, so I'm especially excited to see what kind of crazy builds I can make on him, but I'm also excited to see what other people do with the other 2 new additions too. It's gonna be a bunch of fun. It's gonna be frustrating as hell, because some of these power-ups are nuts, but it's gonna be fun. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'm gonna ask you to subscribe and leave a like on this video as it lets me know that you've enjoyed it and you want to see more. Finally, have a nice day or night if you're watching this at night, and make sure you check out some of my other videos. Not only will I appreciate it, but you might too.